What's up, traders? Sandro O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is August 31st, 2021. It is a brand new trading month beginning tomorrow. We are officially in September. Today we're going to talk about the price action in the headline indices. We'll go into the hood, we'll check out our sectors and style factors, we'll go through some of my trades for today. Before we do that, quick risk disclaimer, nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades or anyone's trades for that matter. All right, let's jump into the video. All right, box scores for today. S&P 500 as measured by the SPY finished down 0.15% on the session. NASDAQ QQQ finished down 0.08%. We had the IWM small caps, which are our only positive area of the market, finishing up 0.17%. And then we had the Dow Jones, which closed down 0.05%. A lot of times during month end, you do get some wonky price action. And so that's to be expected. You know, today was a very choppy day. The breadth was very mixed. So we had, much weaker than yesterday. We had 50% advancers in the Dow. We only had 42% advancers in the NASDAQ. Our best breadth was in the IWM with 62% advancers. In yesterday's video, we talked about how the rally in the NASDAQ seemed a bit suspect. And I bought, some QQQ puts for that reason. And I was able to cash in this morning on those puts. So this is our S&P 500. We tagged this Venom R1 pivot level at 45.40 spot 25. And we had a pullback pretty much to this 5-day EMA. So, when the trend gets very extended, it's very normal throughout even the most bullish of trends. You get, multiple tests of the 5-day EMA. It's a level that you really just tag, constantly throughout an uptrend. We're also pretty extended from this 20-day simple moving average. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get, some consolidation over the next couple days. Would definitely surprise me if we just continue to really blast off to new highs here. But we'll have to see. Yeah, S&P 500, it looks like right after the close, basically we got some buying in these S&P 500 futures. So even though the market technically closed red, yeah, it looks like, we had some buying immediately after the close that pushed us back essentially into the green. Hourly chart for the S&P 500. Yeah, so heading into the close, it looked like, all right, we just tagged the 50-hour moving average. We had a bounce. We pulled back again. And it looked like we might slip below. And hey, maybe we get a pullback to the weekly value area high down here. But yeah, after the close, that volume came in and, gave us that additional push to the upside. All right, let's check out the NASDAQ. NASDAQ, yeah, this one also, really just blasting off to new highs. This one, I don't want to say it went parabolic, but it definitely, it's been a very fast mover. Same exact thing applies here. We're just getting pretty extended from the 20-day. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got some sort of consolidation period. And then the Russell. So this one actually held support. So the Russell, we had this nice move out of value. Then we had yesterday was a pullback in the Russell. And now today it looks like we stuck the landing where we're maintaining price above this monthly value area high. So the small caps do look pretty good here for higher levels. And it's not like they're super extended. They are from the 20-day, but in terms of, just the bigger picture of this chart, yeah, we're really just still in this bigger consolidation period. So yeah, Russell definitely looking good. And then, yeah, I day traded a small cap named Dario today. We'll go into that in a little bit. The Dow Jones still just looks, like it's doing nothing. Dow Jones really just consolidating, not a leader. It's not like a super laggard either though. So this one, not all that exciting. All right, sectors. So let's go a little bit deeper. So check this out, team. On our sector map, look what is now in the top slot in terms of momentum. KWEB, the Chinese technology ETF, was our best performer for the second day in a row. It finished up 4.12%. Really nice performance. And I'm currently long Pinduoduo and Futu within that group. And then what else has strong performances? Emerging markets and internet e-commerce. Really strong performance. That makes sense along with the K-Web. And then our other momentum areas. So the blockchain ETF was down 0.6%. And then we had our biotech ETF up 0.87%. The social media ETF was up 1.99%. Pretty noteworthy. Let's actually pull up some of these social media stocks. So the big mover within this group today was Snapchat. Snapchat finished up 2.15%, but it just could not get the break out of this monthly value area. It's done this a bunch of times where, it looks like it's really going to go, but then it turns out to just be a shakeout. But yeah, now we're above the 20-day moving average in Snapchat. So this is definitely going to be one that I'm watching closely. Twitter closed down 0.31%. Twitter, I was long some leaps in this one and basically, entered towards the lows and pretty much exited, very close to the highs. I think I exited when this thing was starting to have trouble maintaining above this 20-day moving average. So now it's actually much lower. But yeah, Snapchat looks like it's showing much more relative strength than Twitter. And then let's see, Facebook, another one of these. Facebook finished down 0.34% after really just, having a very nice move yesterday. All right, so let's take a look at some of these Chinese names. So Pinduoduo is one that I traded some calls on. I believe I entered them. Yeah, I entered them yesterday. So Pinduoduo, really nice performer today, up 5.31%. I have the 100 strike calls. And this one, it's not quite above that 50-day moving average yet. So we'll have to see if it can get above that in the coming days. So we have Pinduoduo, Alibaba. This one hasn't really been the best of the group. Yeah, this one was up 2.9%. And then Futu is the lotto position that I currently have on. So Futu reported earnings this morning. The earnings were, in my opinion, pretty fantastic. They had really nice sales growth. I believe the earnings may have been hit a little bit just because they're a brokerage firm and the markets in Asia have gotten completely slapped upside the head. Anybody that's been following the markets, the Chinese markets pretty much for all intents and purposes had a crash. So yeah, they still had fantastic growth numbers. It was pretty unreal. But yeah, they closed up 0.45% after trading much lower for most of the day. So this one we'll have to see. My lotto position expires on September 3rd, which is this Friday. So we'll have to see if we can get some traction to the upside. But at the very least, for a longer term view on this, I think, if they couldn't take it down yesterday, and then they also couldn't take it down today off the earnings report, we're going to have this new monthly value area beginning tomorrow. And, we're holding the bottom of value. So this one definitely looks pretty good to me. So let's see what happens with Futu. All right, let's take a look over here. We'll go to our style factor list. And style factors. So best performing style factor was high div, low vol, which was up 0.41%. And then the cyclicals were positive, international value. Biggest loser on the day was the growth ETF, down 0.28%. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, growth has had such a phenomenal performance over the past month that really just a little consolidation there. All right, so let's take a look. We're going to pull up some of my trades for today. I did a lot of options trading. And so like I said, I came in with some put options on the QQQ from yesterday. It was so funny when I said, I was getting short the Qs, a bunch of people on Twitter, they're like, yeah, I never short an uptrend or whatever. And yeah, with this one, it was just that it hit such a level of overextension that it made sense for some sort of small pullback to happen. It wasn't I think a lot of people get confused. If you take a put, if you buy puts, they think oh, you think the market's going to crash, huh? And it's no, not really. Just, make it a little pullback. Or even just a little bit of insurance, never hurts. But yeah, so I closed out some of my QQQ September 17th puts for $4.35 in the morning. I had paid $3.87. Yeah, 3.865. And yeah, I took off a little target, pretty early in the morning. And then I was just closing out more of this throughout the session. So I closed out more at 9:45, closed out more at 9:51, and then I closed out more at 10:33. And then while doing this, I ended up getting long Tesla. So I got long Tesla. Like, I knew I had my short, so I was like, okay, I can actually take a chance on Tesla here. The chart looked really good. We went over it in our Pristine Capital pre-market webinar, and I got into the September 3rd 7:30 calls for $9.75. Tesla ended up going on a nice run intraday. I closed out half of it for $14.37. So that was well over a 40% winner, really nice. And then I closed out the remaining half towards the end of the day for $11.40. So that was more like a 22% winner, something like that. But that one was a really nice trade for today. So let's look at Tesla. And this one was so interesting. I was following this one very closely throughout most of the day. So Tesla, the weekly chart looks awesome right now. This one is just setting up for higher levels, what it appears to me. Check this out. So we're at a very pivotal level. If we get past this 750-ish area, then suddenly, the prior all-time highs are in sight. So this is Tesla is pretty much in season right now. And then this daily chart, I was okay, we just pushed beyond this pivot. So I entered this stock right in the morning while it was still red. So I entered, this is our 5-minute chart. I saw we were holding this 200 period moving average. This is on the 5-minute chart. So yeah, I was all right, we're holding this pretty well right in the first couple of minutes of trade. So I entered pretty much right down here. I took my first target, right into these highs. I got a really good trade location on my exit. And then throughout the day, I was let me see, maybe Tesla will, put in a really big move. So let me just hold on to a half of it. And then towards the end of the session, it started to soften up and get a little bit weaker. That was where I closed the other half of my trade out. This thing ended up diving much lower from where I closed it. But then literally in the last 20 minutes, it looks like some huge buyers came in. Or not even huge, but just some buyers came in and push this thing a bit higher. So Tesla's definitely going to be on my radar even for tomorrow. All right, so that was good. I also just closed out some smaller positions coin. I took this one for a swing long yesterday. Closed this one out for $8.10. I paid $9.90. I just put this stock is horrible. Yeah, because this one it hasn't been showing relative strength within the blockchain assets. So it's let me just close this one out. So I did a little bit of cleanup. But yeah, coin, was down 1.4%. It looks pretty ugly. This thing is just such a laggard. And then what else do we have? Disney, I attempted this one for a long position via some October 15th 180 calls. Closed it out for literally a 5-cent winner just because, this stock, it's had so many false starts. Watch, and this one will be the one where it actually breaks out. Now we'll see. But yeah, Disney, we're out of this monthly value area, which is good. But of course, it ended up coming in even further from where I exited. So this one, it's a very difficult one to trade. There are definitely active sellers in Disney that seem to just step in whenever the stock starts to get a bit of traction. Yeah, the weekly chart, not all that bad. I mean, it's just consolidating. And yeah, we're starting to break out. So I'll have to keep this one on my radar. But yeah, it's not one where, if it starts coming back in, I want to stay involved in it. And then I did do some common stock trading as well. I got along this name Dario, DRIO, ticker symbol. And I took this one for a long for $13.10. I put here, smaller position because it's a more thinly traded name. I try not to go super heavy in the small caps. Ended up closing this one out for a nice winner later in the day. So Dario, I was just watching my news wire throughout the day. I saw a headline come out that Dario, they received a partnership with some other company. So I was all right, let's do it. I bought the common stock and it was already moving pretty nicely. So I was okay, I can trade against the 20-day moving average. let me enter this thing. And I think I closed it out for maybe like, 4% winner and maybe like holding it for like 2 hours or something. So I was like, I'll take it. And yeah, I closed out a little bit higher than where it closed. So it worked out. But yeah, this one I was like, this stock just gave me like 4% in literally like 2.5 hours. So I was like, I'm just going to take that and, walk away pretty much. Like, I'm not going to try to push this one. Yeah, those were my trades for today. Oh yeah, and then I did take some Q's puts into the close. And that's really like just in case, things got a little bit crazy into the close, with month end and whatnot. I will say that the puts that I took, they did not account for this like burst higher that we had into the close. So yeah, the QQQ, this one looks like we're finding some resistance. This is the hourly chart. We're finding some resistance at this 20-hour moving average. But if you pull up the NASDAQ, this one, we actually put in like a pretty nice green candle. And you can see that, the NASDAQ closed up 0.11%. So the futures, it looked like there was some bullishness in the post market. So if we just open up like super strong tomorrow, I'll probably just take those Q's puts off. But we will have to see what the river brings on those. All right, let's go through. We'll take a look at some of our options order flow. We'll go over to VigTech. Let's take a look at our options race. And Snow was in the lead for most of the day. There was a huge Snow order that went up pretty early during the day. And then Tesla took the lead. Over the past couple of days, I've been seeing a lot of Tesla players too, like more than usual. So let's take a look at these. Tesla, we already looked at. Amazon had a nice day of trading today, so let's pull that one up. Yeah, Amazon closed above the 50-day moving average, so looking pretty solid here. And then Snow. Wow, so that order came in. When the order came in for Snow, this one was trading down slightly. It was maybe like down like 0.2%. And yeah, we got the nice finish for Snow, so I'll be watching this one as well. Yeah, huge order came down the pipe for that one. Let's take a look at Qualcomm. Qualcomm doesn't look as interesting to me. And then let's see, we'll take a look at one more. Home Depot, I saw a lot of flow coming in for. So this one is pretty interesting even into tomorrow. If we can get above this 20-day simple moving average, could be a very, interesting setup, to potentially play to the upper Bollinger Band. Those are the key highlights in terms of the options order flow. That about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all had an awesome trading session today, and I'll see you all tomorrow.